Let me say this plainly. Most IEP meetings don't fall apart because the team is lazy or incompetent. They fall apart because of small, avoidable mistakes that quietly turn into parent frustration, compliance issues, and formal complaints. If you've ever walked out of an IEP meeting thinking, that felt tense, but I don't know why, this is why. Let's talk about the biggest IEP meeting mistakes schools keep making and how to fix them. First mistake, walking into the meeting without a clear plan. When an IEP meeting has no structure, parents feel lost. They don't know what decisions are being made, when they're being made, or how their input fits in. That uncertainty creates anxiety, and anxious parents ask harder questions or shut down completely. Every IEP meeting should start with a brief roadmap, not paperwork, not data, a roadmap. You explain what you're reviewing, what decisions are on the table, and what the outcome of the meeting will be. When parents know the process, they feel included instead of cornered. Second mistake, asking for parent input too late. A lot of teams wait until the end of the meeting and say, "Do you have any questions or concerns?" That sounds polite, but it feels dismissive. By then, the plan already feels decided. Parent input is not a checkbox. It's a requirement under IDEA. If you don't invite parent input early, and if you don't reflect it back during the meeting, parents leave feeling unheard, even if you technically asked. The fix is simple. Ask early, listen carefully, and summarize what you heard. When parents hear their own concerns repeated accurately, trust goes up immediately. Third mistake, reading the IEP out loud instead of explaining it. IEP meetings are not dramatic readings of legal documents. When teams read pages word for word, parents disengage, teachers disengage, and the meeting becomes transactional instead of collaborative. The IEP should guide the meeting, not dominate it. Summarize what matters. Explain the big picture. Highlight changes. Pause for confirmation. A parent should walk out understanding why decisions were made, not just what was written. Fourth mistake, PLAAFPs that don't match the goals. This is one of the most common compliance errors I see. The present levels describe one set of needs. The goals measure something slightly different, and the services don't clearly support either. That disconnect is a red flag for parents and attorneys alike. Every goal must directly tie back to a need identified in the PLAAFP, and every goal must include a clear baseline. If you can't explain how the goal addresses the identified need using plain language, the goal isn't defensible. Fifth mistake, vague, unmeasurable goals. Will improve reading skills. Will increase independence. Will demonstrate progress. Those are not goals. They are promises with no proof. If a parent asks, "How will we know if this is working?" and the answer isn't clear, the goal is weak. Strong goals are observable, measurable, and connected to real classroom performance. They explain what skill is being measured, how it's measured, and under what conditions. Sixth mistake, confusing accommodations with specially designed instruction. This one causes endless problems. Accommodations remove barriers. They do not teach skills. Specially designed instruction teaches skills. It changes how instruction is delivered. When SDI is written as a list of accommodations, progress stalls, and parents notice. If a student needs explicit instruction, strategy instruction, or systematic intervention, that must be written as SDI. Otherwise, the IEP is not providing meaningful educational benefit. Seventh mistake, glossing over progress monitoring. Progress monitoring is not just data collection, it's accountability. If the team can't clearly explain how often progress is monitored, what tool is used, and how data informs instruction, parents lose confidence in the plan. You don't need complicated systems. You need consistent measures, clear documentation, and honest conversations about what the data shows. 8th mistake, avoiding hard conversations. Sometimes the data isn't great. Sometimes progress is slow. Sometimes an approach didn't work. Avoiding those conversations doesn't protect the team. It damages credibility. Parents don't expect perfection. They expect honesty. When teams acknowledge challenges, explain adjustments, and document changes, parents are far more likely to trust the process. Final mistake, ending the meeting without clarity. Too many IEP meetings end with uncertainty. Parents should never leave wondering, what decisions were made? What happens next? When they'll hear from the school again? Every meeting should end with a summary of decisions, next steps, and timelines, including prior written notice when required. A strong ending prevents follow-up emails, confusion, and complaints. Here's the truth. A well-run IEP meeting isn't about saying the perfect thing. It's about clarity, connection, and documentation that matches what actually happened. When you fix these mistakes, meetings become calmer, parents become partners, and the IEP becomes what it was meant to be, a functional, defensible plan that actually supports students. That's how you run IEP meetings that hold up in the classroom and on paper.